I'm Dr. Kemi Lawrence. It's Monday, the 28th of October, 2024. Let's talk about Persecuted IJ, the docuseries I started last night with regards to my stay, arrest, and incarceration in Port Harcourt prison in 2017. I lived in the prison for 6 months. I was arrested 3 times because of a Nollywood mess. The mess that happens in the Nollywood industry, the bitching, backbiting, backstabbing that goes on within these actresses' lives is what cost me my freedom. Yabojo was the center of it. Now, I need everybody to listen carefully because what I'm about to say, I must not see any nonsense in my comments. If I find any comment or trolls in my comment, I'm going to yank those people like immediately. Okay, you can only troll me with a fake account because what I'm about to reveal right now is my life and what I went through. I don't want to cry through this one because this is what caused the problem. Yabojo was accused, allegedly by Kemi Olunloyo, of having an affair with David Ibiyomi. That is not what I wrote. I put a first page of an 8-page letter on my blog and nobody knew it was an 8-page letter. Just the first page, allegations. Using non-affirmative words that journalists are supposed to be used, reported, reportedly, allegedly, allegations, just a taste of the 8 pages. It's alleged that a pastor's given Yabo a car and things from the church, and a church member wants to retrieve the car, blah, blah, blah. The person stopped talking to me as soon as they arrested me because I said I wanted car papers. This is Yabojo. She's a Nigerian film actress and director. She had no affair with that pastor. The pastor never met her. They never met each other. Somebody sent that letter to me. Who sent the fake news tip? When you get a news tip, you're supposed to verify it. Was that not what I was doing? Ibiyomi's lawyer forced me to drop it off my page, and I told them I can't take it down. I have to investigate it. 2 days later, they surrounded my house with police and they arrested me. So there was an element of fear or something they were hiding. If they had let me investigate it, maybe I would have seen the lie, but they didn't. Meanwhile, the big story and the big question is who sent that letter to me? Who went quiet after they arrested me? This lady here, Vivian Mechi, called me after I came from prison at 4 a.m. in the morning, and she said she was begging to talk to me. She spoke to me from 4 to 6 a.m. Mechi told me that the phone number that they displayed in court that Instagram said sent me that news tip, okay, because that's the phone number that opened the fake account that sent the news tip. That phone number was a Nigerian number. Truecaller in Sweden said the number belonged to Iyabojo's Pinkies group. It was Vivian Mechi that said that Iyabo doesn't carry that phone. Her PA, Bemini Adegbola, carries the phone. This is Punch Newspapers in 2021, and this is something that's been going on for a while. Nollywood actress Yabojo had a problem with her former employee and PA, Bemini Adegbola. Yabo claimed that she was stealing her money. It was over theft, and Yabo took her to Kpanti and filed papers there. Dolapo Badmus confirmed that to me, the former PPR of Lagos State, a police officer, and I believe she's in Abuja now. This Punch archive said, I heard you say you took me like a daughter and I almost ruined your business, a daughter sha, business sha, blah, blah, blah. Bimini ranted her own. You claim I took your money. You and I knew that at the time you had no kobo, you na package with a package, we're just living fake life. Just read this nonsense in the Punch. Okay, this was Bimini's post on her Instagram. At the end of the day, it was these two's fight that cost me the 6 months in prison. So to really mess up Yabo, Bimini wrote that letter or someone wrote it for her and sent it to the journalist, sending the journalist to prison. This is the rest of the letter. Please read everything. At the end of the day, according to the actress, Adegbola never remitted the monies collected to the business account. She wrote, Bemini, you said in your write-up you didn't steal from me or try to ruin my business. Yes, my former business, First Priest World in Allen, you have been stealing from me using my account. Anyway, Iyabo and Bemini had something going on. To totally destroy Iyabo, Bemini sent that letter to me. Now look at the connection. Toyin Abraham. The rumor in the industry was that it was Toyin Abraham that wrote that 8-page letter because at the time she was at loggerheads with 3 actresses, one of them being Iyabo, Mercy Aigbe, and Lizzie Anjorin. They said she wrote the letter to finish Iyabo, gave it to Bemini to send it to the journalists. They said she distinctively said, these are allegations, she distinctively said, Auntie Kemi is very good at calling out pastors. I don't call out pastors. There were 2 pastors I did stories about. Nigerians didn't like it, and I didn't give a damn. Pastor Adeboye's students at Redeem University were using cocaine, drugs. I opened that investigation. I opened the one about the kid that killed his father, dismembered his father's body, and put it in a big Indomie box and carried it to Adeboye's University, hiding it under his bed until the smell took the whole dormitory. How does anybody do that? Unless you're on drugs. The boy was seriously on drugs, and they took the dead body out, the smell, everything. This is when Adeboye decided to open a rehabilitation center, 100 million Naira rehab center, October 2017. So I was vindicated. Oyedepo slapped an Igbo girl in the church. Do you know who you're talking to? That whole video there. So some people feel that I'm very bold with these pastors. And at that very same time is when Daddy Freeze came to me. I've never said this. Daddy Freeze said he's opening a church ministry. And he came to me to talk to me about what motivates me to talk about the pastors and all that. In a way, I was like his advisor in starting his own ministry. Now you know. But at the end of the day, how do I know that Toyin actually wrote that letter? Even if Toyin was hating on Iyabo at the time, they decided that they should give this letter to Auntie Kemi because she's good at calling out pastors. Now, who told me that Toyin wrote the letter? This is Bemini Adegbola. The person that told me that Toyin wrote the letter was also fighting Mercy Aigbe. Okay, the person said Toyin and Mercy were at loggerheads. And if you remember when I was arrested in March of 2017, there was a fight where Mercy wrote, Toyin, you destroyed my house. You destroyed my marriage. So Toyin and Mercy Aigbe had not spoken because of this whole thing that Mercy accused Toyin of destroying her marriage to Larry Gentry. Lizzie Anjorin told me that Toyin wrote the letter and gave it to the PA. I'm not protecting anybody here. I'm telling every source. Lizzie said Toyin wrote that letter and gave it to Bemini to send it to me. That it was known in the industry and a lot of people kept quiet. I spoke to Esabod about this and I also spoke to Yomi Fabi and they all agreed with me. Okay, Toyin was behind the letter. When I asked Toyin about the letter, Toyin said she did not write any letter. So I stood there in a circle not knowing who sent this and the whole industry was pointing at Miss Abraham. Now, at the end of the day, the letter took me to prison. A tangle between all these actresses. And there's still a question. Bemini, who wrote the letter you sent to me? Bemini has never acknowledged that she sent the letter until Truecaller pulled out that phone number. She now said yes. She admitted to her brother, somebody saying they're her brother, contacting me saying that she sent the NEWSTIP, but she didn't write it. So who gave her the NEWSTIP? That's still the question. But somehow everyone knew that Toyin wrote the NEWSTIP and gave it to her. She has never said who gave her the NEWSTIP. And I can't independently verify that Toyin wrote it. But that NEWSTIP, I printed all 8 pages out and I gave it to PC Biyomi, Pastor Biyomi's wife, before I left Port Harcourt, the day before I left. I wanted them to have it in hard copy and hold on to it. And I cursed that person at the pulpit. May God deal with that person mercilessly. regardless of when that happens. You saw the testimony.